Live stream. This live lesson here. All right. This live lesson here. Yep, we are on. All right, so we get ready to take off on this journey. Y'all just bear with me here momentarily while we get it going. Let's see here if we got anybody coming through. Yeah, shalom. You about to get it going. Just hold tight. All right, momentarily. And we'll start off with that. All right, so all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right, shalom to the hopefully elect. This lesson is going to be entitled News, Bad Weather, and Bad Times, which bad times breaks down as the word evil. All right, and you can see on the screen right here a little image that somebody put together. I don't know exactly where it came from, and I just kind of snapshotted it. I thought it was kind of funny. The caption of it says, "Out here getting financially jumped." You can see one individual on the ground. The red person says, "Me." And then you see a fight breaking out, right? The car payment, the rent, the lights, and the gas beating the person down. And that's the bad times that people are experiencing. It seems like everything is going up across the board, right? All of your bills, you know, inflation is set in, all different types of things going on, and everything's going up except for the pay. All right. Anyway, that's just a funny image. We'll look at others. Let's get right into the scriptures, and then we'll get some news. We got a lot of, you know, not a whole lot to cover, but a good bit. We'll start in Matthew 24, verse 3. It says, "And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?" So we all know this verse. We all know what this is in the scriptures. The disciples are asking the Lord when the end is coming. He gave them a list of signs. I'm going to go jump past. Well, you know what? We can read them. Verse 4 says, "And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many." And we've been seeing that. Nothing but false prophets have been here. Only now in these last, I would say the last 20, 30 years have you had true prophets. Everybody before then were all liars. It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars." And you've been hearing that. Wars is going on currently. Russia and Ukraine getting it on. You're hearing about China and Taiwan, particularly, may get into it. North Korea, South Korea, America. Then you hear about World War III. It's bubbling under the surface. Right? It says, "And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet." So we just going towards the end, but the end is not yet. We still got a little ways to go. More prophecies have to be fulfilled, particularly the MOTB and the World War III, which is going to lead to the other part of prophecy, the nuclear destruction and the elect being delivered, the end of Babylon the Great. "For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places." And you're hearing about that. We're preparing ourselves, and you see that this is a manufactured famine that's on the way. Gas prices going up, the different pestilences you keep hearing about. Right here lately, they've been talking about this a resurgence of the of the C-19. Okay. And you got earthquakes in diverse places as well. It says all these are the beginning of sorrows, and that's where we currently find ourselves. We are at the beginning of sorrows. Let's also get 2nd Ezra chapter 16. And verse 14, it says, behold, the plagues are sent and shall not return until they come upon the earth. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. And we wait on that fire. The Lord is going to send that fire via the nuclear missiles. Like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. And another plague is death. Different kind of judgment. We told these 2/3 that the Lord was going to be doing a lot of killing, death, slaughter, different things going on the earth, and you seeing it. And I'm gonna play you a story here, Lord willing, coming up in a few minutes. You know, it's sad, but hey, it happens, right? All people know is the end result. You see them crying and doing all that boo-hooing over their loved ones when they die. But what about when Jake come and try to preach the gospel? What about when the brothers and the prophets come and preach the gospel? Do they listen? You saw what they was doing out there, you know, when IUIC went out there, and when we teaching every weekend, right? Does the Lord want us to work? What's wrong with you people, man? What do you think? Does the Lord want us to work? God, get it together, Jake. Damn, you don't think the Lord wants you to have a job? How you gonna feed yourself if you don't work? Hold on, y'all. Every live stream, there be people that we never heard of that are never on our live streams pop up and become inquisitive to death. I don't really get it. I don't be understanding, Jake. Just hold on, brothers here. Let me refresh this. It's always somebody, you know, with all these damn questions, like little nagging questions and shit. You know what I mean? It's like, where you come from with that? Anyway, you know, with all these damn, I don't really be understanding. What's so hard about listening or you know, just holding your peace? It's always some, you know, and I can understand people are new, but if you knew, like, logic would dictate that you would be quiet more than asking a bunch of stuff. Let's deal with this. I believe in Yahweh Shai. Does the Lord even want his believers to work in the Western society? I mean, I'll let you brothers on the comment board answer that. Does the Lord want us to work? And, you know, being persistent. Does the Lord want us to work? Well, if you don't work, you don't eat. How about that? That should be answer enough. Let's go on. Let's go back to it. I mean, how you going to eat if you don't work? You think you're going to pray and then the sky's going to open up and food going to just pour down? That's part of our punishment, is to have to work. You can go back to Genesis 1 and read that. The Lord said we're going to have to scratch out a living from the sweat of our brow. Every brother supposed to have a job. Every brother supposed to have a job. Period. 2nd Ezra 16. And I'll start at 17. I'm going to start back at 16. It says, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backward, even so the plagues that shall be sent upon earth shall not return again. Right. These plagues are coming. And they're already here. It's different types of plagues. There's the employment, unemployment, you know, the food. Because that's coming. These devils, even if it's manufactured, they're manufacturing a famine. You can clearly see it. They're putting chickens to death, cattle to death, you know. They have a mass dives of this and that. Different fertilizer plants and different things are being hit and destroyed. You know, seemingly random, but it's not random. Nothing is random. And nothing is by accident. Right? There's so much going on. The gas prices going up. Different weird events are happening. Crazy weather, as you're going to see from these news reports. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. That's all on the way. The beginning of wars, and the powers shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And they are on the way. That's why I entitled the lesson, News, Bad Weather and Bad Times. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. And the Lord is chastising and punishing right now. This is the reason why. But for all these things, it says are sent as scourges. Let me read it again. Behold, famine, which is a shortage, a lack of food, and plague, different plagues, tribulation, trouble, and anguish, pain, are sent as scourges for amendment. What's a scourge? It's like a belt, a whipping instrument. You get scourged. You get whipped by the Lord. For what? for amendment so that people change their ways, so that the Israelites change, but they're not going to change. A disobedient, gainsaying people. But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. And Jake just won't stop. They continue to do more wickedness. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And right now, or it had been, you know, they can still, just because you can go to McDonald's or one of these restaurants and get food that's seemingly cheap. Look at everything else. The inflation is here. They're manufacturing a famine, okay? If you can't see it, I don't know where you've been at. It says, behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case. And even then shall evils, bad times, grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And you see that all these things on the way, even happening. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine. So you do see it in the end times, the Lord speaking on famine. For many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. So bad times are on the way, and we can see it, right? Very close. Let's go ahead and get into some of the news. And I got a few images also we can look at before we, do that all the way. Brothers is bringing scriptures out. Yeah, this is Ariah Chayal. Ephesians 4:28. Let him that stole steal no more, but rather let him labor. That's a job. Labor, working with his hands the thing which is good, that he may have to give to him that needeth. You're supposed to have a job, period. Everybody supposed to have a job. I mean, all brothers. We in captivity. We ain't gonna get it like like we want on this side. What else you gonna do? You gonna be a bum? I mean, you made this. Somebody may describe work as, this or that, but it's whatever you do to get your daily bread. It's what, that's within the confines of the Most High's law. This is hold on, brothers. Yerumya Gabar, Proverbs 21:25. The desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor. And a lot of times, Jake just, I don't know what it is. It's like when Yahushua said you must be like little children, he meant, when it comes to malice and things like that. You don't have to become like a little damn child. Like you start all over from a damn elementary point of view with like the most basic things you don't even know. I mean, damn, that's, you don't know better than that you should have a job. How the hell you gonna feed your family? How you gonna feed yourself if you don't have a job? You don't make money. This is Malachiah, servant of Yahushua. Isaiah 13:11. And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. And that's what the Lord is starting to do. He's punishing these people. When you saw that, I did a video last night on this lady, $98 fucking for a tank of gas. Yeah. It's only going to get worse. Because the Lord, before he get us out of here, he going to punish the shit out of these people. He's going to punish the shit out of these people. So let's go ahead and get ready. Let's see here. I got a few images over here I like to play. I like to show. Just to show you what kind of society you're in. Here's one. This is a good one. I've been holding on to this for a minute. This one says, you can see it on the screen. One of the brothers shared it. It says, Shalom, they cooked their dog when it died. These people said, we said goodbye to 268 today. She was harvested peacefully and ethically along with her pack of 22 others. All were organic, grass-fed, and left this farm knowing they were very good girls serving their purpose. Ground husky and husky pup chops are now available. You can see it here. This girl with the image of a dog. And this is supposedly ground up dog meat. Now, I didn't look this up to authenticate it. If any brother want to do it, you can go and look it up, www.elwooddogmeat.com. Right? I just thought it was interesting. And you're going to see this more and more. When the famine comes, you will be amazed at what people would eat. This is ground pup chops. Ground up puppy, I guess. Let's see what else we got. Here's another one. This was shared by the brother GMS Spiritual War from the Raleigh camp. It says, exclusive from Daily Mail, exclusive, homeless at the gates of Disney. Thousands are living in motels, encampments, and even their cars in the shadow of the most magical place on earth, amid soaring rent prices and post-pandemic unemployment. And this was put up May the 30th, or that article. You can actually look that up. You see, and who you seeing there? Jake. People catching hell, living in cars, right? That's at the gates of Disney. You can look that up if you want to authenticate it further. Here's another one. This is from Elder Yashawama shared this one. Breaking news. Federal energy officials are warning that the power grid in the central United States could be forced to impose rotating blackouts on some of the hottest days of the summer due to rising demand and plant retirements. Right? So you've been hearing about these rolling blackouts that possibly might come. And here it is, your damn light bill going up more and more and more. And they're going to still hit you with rolling blackouts. Watch out for that. That's coming. Potentially. And of course, all kind of wickedness. Here's another one from Elder Yashawamba also. It says, Michigan police officers say they will not show up to non-life-threatening calls because gas is too high. And this is going to be a theme around the country. You know, they're already saying that if and this is in Michigan, but we've also heard California and other places are saying that if something is not life-threatening, they ain't going to send no cops out there. So guess what? A lot of situations that arise, you know, people are going to have to tend to it themselves, which is great. That's when your rapes and different things like that going to start to occur. Here's something else. Same brother, same elder shared it. It was a post put up somewhere. And I'm just going to read it. I feel literally sick to my stomach hearing doctors pronounce with no shame the arrival of sudden adult death syndrome. I think we can safely assume that sudden infant death syndrome was no accident. Now, the reason I read that is because it is. A lot of celebrities, different individuals, and what are they saying? They found no foul play and they don't have an official cause of death. You know why people are dropping dead? I'll let you figure it out. It's because we told you not to fuck with that dragon breath. See? And there's no way to say for sure, but there ain't nobody. Why haven't they given any reports? That's right, brother. The brother got it up on the on the comment board. A lot of people dropping dead these days, and they saying they don't know why. They don't know why this person died. Yeah, okay. So just want to hit you with a few of those. They don't go all into it. I can take a lot of that stuff out of my you know, I can save some of my space in my phone, get rid of some of that stuff. Yep, that's the reason why motherfuckers is dropping dead. We told you not to fuck with that stuff, but you know what? You're so busy trying to follow right behind the devil. You know, just like when the IUIC came back, they said what? They had over 20 members of theirs drop dead, left, you know, over the last little while when Bishop Nate came back. You know why? Yep, that damn venom, boy. Serpent strike snake fangs. Yep, GMS Spiritual Art, Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. You can't trust these damn people. These are devils you're dealing with. And I just saw a post earlier that said Dr. Fauci got it. Dr. Fauci got something. Something wrong with him. He got the virus. So, you know, watch out. Ain't no telling how this shit gonna go. Anyway, let's go ahead and get this first story. I'm going to go over here and bring it up. Y'all just hold on here. I always have to go through this. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of judgment. Let's get that first. Right? This is I need my kids. All right. This is from NBC News. It says 3 children missing after falling into Mississippi River. Now, this is from a month ago. Let's listen to it.
I need my kids. I need them. I need them more than anything. They're my reason for living. I need my children. I need them.
Octavia Wilson ran Sunday from church steps to the Algiers levee amid rumors of a miracle. Someone told her 2 daughters, 8-year-old Allie and 14-year-old Brandy, and their 15-year-old friend were found. But as she reached that levee, as rains raged hardest, she learned the rumor was false.
Somebody lied to me and told me they found my kids. I ran here. My kids is not out there. They still haven't found my children.
All the family knows is how the kids entered the river. They were playing along the West Bank Saturday before dusk. Brandy tripped and fell in. Allie and their friend tried to save her. None seen since.
My kids can't swim. I need my kids.
So Sunday afternoon, they kept watching. As dogs sniffed, submarines and divers dropped, and Coast Guard boats kept making their rounds.
My kids is gone. My kids is gone. That's all I keep thinking about. My kids is gone. I can't talk no more.
And with each moment, more fear that the Mississippi's power proved too much.
I know that they not breathing in that water. I just hope that they could get their bodies up all in one part so we could do the proper things to give them a proper service. That's just all. That's the only hope we have.
Harrison Golden, WDSU News.
Now, I ain't gonna make fun of nobody's pain, but that right, that was awful. That was awful. Let's get another one. This is also going with that. The same story. This was from WWL-TV. Agony sets in as family and friends continue search for missing children. Listen to it.
Yeah, the search intensifies out here on the levee. Family and friends and even some city leaders have been out here since early this morning, praying that the kids will soon be brought home. Out on the murky waters under the Crescent City Connection, divers head out into the deep for day 3 of the search for the missing children.
We are seeking that their remains will be found so they're closer to the family. This is our prayer.
Boats, local dive teams, sonar equipment are all being used to help find 14-year-old Brandy Wilson, her 8-year-old sister Allie Wilson, and their friend who has now been identified as 15-year-old Kevin Poole.
It does not surprise me at all that he went in to save the girls. Not at all. That was in his nature to always be giving. He was always a smiling child, young man rather, and just full of life.
Kevin was a student and football player at L.B. Landry High School. He was also a part of the Native Plant Academy. Dr. Angela Chalk was his teacher there.
My staff and I, we've cried the entire weekend to think that their bodies have succumbed to the very river that we were studying is overwhelming.
Dr. Chalk says Kevin's opportunities were endless.
Kevin had options to become a coastal manager, environmental steward, to become a part of the Wildlife and Fisheries Service of the U.S. Forestry Service.
Family members believe they were playing along the river when Brandy slipped into the water. The others went after her to help and were swept under the water as well. Bishop W.L.T. Littleton says the children play an important role in the community and they won't give up hope.
These children, they were precious children. They were an example that our community needs to emulate. They never got in any type of trouble.
Earlier in the day, Councilman Freddie King and Councilman Oliver Thomas took a visit with families to lend support.
Whether it's human tragedy like this or some of the violence that's happening, as a spiritual person, we're being commanded to do a better job.
The whole situation is devastating.
You heard what Jake said? He was actually right. Let's play that again.
Took a visit with families to lend support.
Whether it's human tragedy like this or some of the violence that's happening, as a spiritual person, we're being commanded to do a better job.
The whole situation is...
Yeah, you've been commanded by the Lord to do a better job. Stop sinning. See, what Jake really don't understand is that when the Most High, now that the gospel is being preached, the Most High is commanding you Israelites, you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans to repent. And when you don't repent and you just continue on in your ways, living and worshiping idols, the Lord is he's gonna do something.
And I just want the family to know that I'm here to pray with them, just to sit down with them, to say nothing, just to be here.
Agony sets in for friends and family members as they fear that the chances of finding them are growing slimmer by the day, but at the very least, they're hoping to find their bodies and bring them home. Algiers Charter Association released a statement today saying, in part, we are completely heartbroken but remain committed to supporting their families and lifting them up with prayers and love during this unimaginably difficult time. Live in Algiers, Tristan Land, Eyewitness News.
Yeah, you see? And it's dozens of stories like this. Let's get one more. This one right here might piss you off a little bit. Same story, but a little bit different here. Celebration of life for sisters who died in Mississippi River. Let me see one thing real quick. All right, yeah, let's go to it. See if we can't get it to play here. Come on. There we go.
It's a sacred New Orleans tradition, not just to mourn our dead, but to celebrate their lives. After the tragic deaths of 3 children in the Mississippi River, the entire New Orleans community was in mourning. But today, there was a celebration in their honor. Sam Winstrom reports.
When Brandy Wilson and Allie Berry Wilson went into the Mississippi River, a part of their mother went with them that can never be replaced. But the joy and love they brought her life is still there.
I'm still going to be that loving, caring, grieving mother at the end of the day. It's not going to make a difference. But I'm a part of today for my girls.
On Saturday, that love filled the streets of Algiers. Following the sound of a full brass band, Brandy and Allie's family and friends danced through the streets. It's a celebration that's uniquely New Orleans and something Octavia says her daughters would have loved.
Because if my daughter was here, see my 8-year-old? Yes. Oh, baby, would she party? Yes. She loves to dance. And I'm a dance for her today.
A horse-drawn carriage led the way. Inside, one coffin for 2 girls. While Brandy's body was recovered in May, 8-year-old Allie was never found.
Even though we haven't found Allie, you know, the community was still in prayer and we're still going to search for her and going to continue to search.
It's a loss the community will never forget, but days like today are reminders of the love they'll never lose. Sam Winstrom, Eyewitness News.
The family also honored Kevin Poole today, who died after going into the river to try to save Brandy. He was called their guardian angel.
So it's obvious there'll be a lot of judgment going out on Jake. I'm going to show you another one. This one right here. Real quick. I learned about this one last night. And this is for all these women that want to be OnlyFans, want to be hoes, want to do all that. This is what the Lord going to do. This is what the Lord going to do when you're doing that. Now it says warning for thousands of Houstonians following woman's murder, right? This is from Fox 26 out of Houston. And then we get the scriptures, you know, because the brothers are putting up a lot of good scripts. We'll get that next. Let me try to get this video to play.
And now charged.
Come on. There we go.
Disturbing details are continuing to emerge regarding a man now charged with murdering and dismembering a woman. This is after taking her to his West Houston apartment. Fox 26's Domly Keith joining us live with a warning for thousands of Houstonians. Domly.
Yeah, according to court records, Felicia Johnson and the man now charged with her murder, they agreed to meet up on Snapchat, and he was supposed to pay her $500. That's according to court records. Well, she hasn't been seen since, and tonight there is a warning for the thousands of Houstonians who work in the sex industry.
Anybody can become a victim of a villain.
That's the first point Precinct 1 Human Trafficking Victim Services Director Catherine Griffin wants to drive home. Let the murder of 24-year-old Felicia Johnson be a learning lesson, and don't think it can't happen to you.
It is so dangerous, and every media outlet should be screaming from the rooftops on how dangerous this is, and let stories like this be known.
Chukwuebuka Uwabado is now charged with murdering and dismembering Felicia Johnson after investigators say her blood was found in his apartment. Court documents show she was last seen April 16th leaving her hotel in an Uber paid for by Uwabado. On April 17th, investigators say he bought a handheld and a power saw, towels and trash bags, and according to court records, even as Uwabado searched the internet for things like can bleach destroy DNA and the most forested part of Houston, he also Googled Houston escorts. And there are tens of thousands here.
I would estimate and say anywhere from 70 to 80,000 sex industry workers daily.
That's a lot, just in Houston, Harris County.
Yes. Yes.
Griffin wants sex workers to do a few things to stay safe, such as don't meet at a client's home. But most of all, she wants you to know help getting out of this industry is available.
It's very vitally important that individuals know to reach out to us so that we can help.
Now, Precinct 1 can help with everything from treatment to therapy to housing and finding a job. We have contact information for them on our website. Felicia Johnson's body, by the way, still hasn't been found, and her accused killer is still on the run. Reporting live near downtown Houston, I'm Damalie Keith, Fox 26 News.
There you go. See it? So you're trying to sell that nappy dugout. You made an agreement to sell it for $500. Now, the dude had an African last name. He may have been a Hamite. He might not have been. Can't say for sure. Let me see how I'll give you the link on the comment board. Hold on here. I'll pull it up. And I'll post it on the comment board. So if brothers want to go there and do a lesson on it, that'll be a good lesson to bring out. There's a link to that video. Yeah, and she was basically, sex worker. $500. That's a lot. She must think her stuff made out of gold, or used to think that, because it's no longer. She ain't here no more. So let's get a few scriptures on it that brothers put up. On all those judgments. Because see, as we know, the truth is being prophesied, and Jake don't want to listen. They think they're gonna do things their own way. So the Lord having you get messed up. This is GMS North Carolina 777, Ezekiel 7:4. And mine eye shall not spare, and mine eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee. And you may say, Lord, you are not worshiping him in spirit and in truth. You worshiping idols. So therefore, the Lord got to pay you a visit. And he sent men to warn you. You think you're going to keep ignoring the prophets? When you ignore the prophets, you're ignoring the Lord, because he sent us out there to warn you. So when you keep walking by us, acting like you ain't, we ain't standing there, you cuss us out, you clap your butt cheeks in front of us, you do all this different shit, the Lord is the angel's marking that down, and the Lord is going to have something happen. It can happen to you. It can happen to one of your relatives. It can happen to your child. You never know what the Lord going to do. He says again, and mine eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abomination shall be in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord, Yahweh. Thus saith the Lord power, an only evil, behold, is come. And it's going to get a whole lot worse. 3 kids dying in the doggone Mississippi River. That's bad. That's terrible. But that's the power of the Lord. A little sex worker, whole life ahead of her, selling a little punani for $500 to some person, go there. And this nigga went and bought bleach. He Googled the shit. See, that also shows you too that you can't, the internet is always being watched. They can go pull up anything, pull up your search history. This nigga done been Googling escorts. Then he Googles, how to get rid of this blood, the bleach, get rid of blood. This nigga went and bought saws and trash bags. And of course they got him red-handed. He done chopped that girl up. And they may never find her body. Let's see, you watch that shit on TV. You see the mob people, they kill people and they chop the body up. Feed it to the hogs and different shit like that. Right, the Elder Y said, $500 for some box? Hell no. It ain't even worth that. 5 minutes, you're going to be, 5 minutes. You mean to tell me that's worth $500? Let me give you some advice. Play some hand music. I ain't going to give you no $500. I'm sorry. I cannot do it. So let's see what else. Let's see what else. Yeah, this is Jeremiah Gabar, Revelation 18, and that verse is speaking of Jake being taken up in the chariots, the elect being taken up in the chariots. It don't mean come out of the ways of Babylon the Great. Revelation 18:4 is speaking of the chariots coming and taking Jake up, taking the elect up, should I say. This is Parathon Ban Yahweh, Ecclesiastes 8:11. Because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily, therefore the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Right. People think because you don't get judged right away for shit you do, that you're going to get away with it or that you got away with it. Verse 12 says, though a sinner do evil 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with them that fear the Most High, which fear before him. But it shall not be well with the wicked, neither shall he prolong his days, which are as a shadow, because he feared not the Most High. That's right. Just because you got away with it today, or because you didn't die today, don't mean that judgment is not right around the corner. That's right, brother. A heavy judgment came. Yeah, it's terrible. And we're not happy when Jake gets judged. We're out there to teach you, to tell you to turn back so that you don't get judged. But you know what? When you don't listen, nothing else can happen but one other thing. This is GMS Harakah, Ezekiel 33:7. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word of my mouth and warn them from me. Are we not giving you the warnings from the Lord? And you know, and another thing that's terrible is, you know, he still got that box. He killed that girl, but you know he still got it anyway. You know? Now he got that for nothing, for free, because he killed the girl, man. This is terrible. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require, so like at thine hand. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. And that's our whole job, is deliver our souls, tell you what the Lord is going to do. When you don't listen, you're going to get messed up. And that was a TikTok coffin. And I don't know what the significance of that was. That was pretty fucking stupid. You wouldn't think that Jake in the hood, in the ghettos, would have enough money to buy a customized coffin with TikTok on it. It's pretty damn stupid, you know? But whatever. You saw the way them niggas was dancing on that New Orleans jazz. You just know some voodoo is not far behind. But that's why the Lord gonna mess 2/3 up. This is Canaan, Israel, tribe of Benjamin, Galatians 6:7. Be not deceived. The Most High is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Right. And she was out there working in that sex industry. And all types of nasty things happen out there. And you just know, hey, we got brothers all down in New Orleans and Baton Rouge teaching the word. Nobody can plead ignorance. You can't say you didn't know. This is GMS Watchman of Yahushua, Zephaniah 3:5. See, shit is getting fluid now. The Lord bringing all kind of judgments on Jake, and it's coming hard. See, these different judgments. Everybody ain't gonna make it to the missiles. Niggas gonna be, as you seen, falling off amusement park rides, right? Getting missing, getting sucked into river drains, all kind of shit, getting sucked out of their houses. And you're going to see this terrible weather the Lord been sending too. I'm going to play a couple of videos coming up. GMS Watchman of Yahushua, Zephaniah 3:5. The just Lord is in the midst thereof. He will not do iniquity. Every morning doth he bring his judgment to light. He faileth not, but the unjust knoweth no shame. And you know it's just judgment of the Lord. You know, judgment of the Lord. And YouTube hate when we make videos about judgment. They done deleted or flagged a couple of mine that I put up. They flagged a couple of videos whenever I put up videos dealing with judgment. They be taking them shits down. But you know what? It's all good. Take them down. The Lord going to continue to judge. Enduring to the end. Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I am he, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So guess what? And 3 kids that got killed, drowned it. The Lord, hey, he was behind it. But it's his judgment that's at work. It ain't like the Lord is up there like, I'm going to kill some kids. No, it's just the judgment of the Lord. It's in effect. It's in motion. You either repent, and if you don't repent when that time comes around for you to get judged, then you out of there. This is GMS Saints of the Most High. It says Ecclesiastes 1:8. There is one wise and greatly to be feared, the Lord, Yahweh Bahashem Yahushua, sitting upon his throne. You better fear the Lord. You better fear the Lord. If you don't, you're an idiot. This is Parathon Ban Yahweh, Psalms 9:16. The Lord, Yahweh, is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion Selah. Now the Most High had that girl, that sex worker, get killed, right? She got baited to come over there. $500 sound like a good price for her. She goes over there for a few minutes work to make that kind of money, because you know she just thought she was all that. You can see by the picture. Then what happened? She got done up. The Lord had her get taken out of here. Now the dude, he gonna get the judgment. Because when they catch him, he gonna kill him or they gonna throw him in prison, where they gonna kill him in prison. You know what they gonna do? They gonna turn him inside out. That's all it is. You already know. This is Jim as Saints of the Most High, Ecclesiastes 43:29. The Lord is terrible and very great and marvelous is his power. That's right. Ariyah Chayal, Deuteronomy 10:17. For the Lord your God is a God of gods and Lord of lords, a great God, a mighty and a terrible, which regardeth not persons, nor take a reward. That's right. The Most High, he ain't concerned about how good you look, what plans you got, you know. Oh, you got an ass like an apple. He does not care. He gonna take you off the planet for disobeying. The wages of sin is death. You keep sinning, you're gonna wind up in the graveyard. Yeramni Gabar, Hebrews 10:31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living God. You don't want this smoke. You don't want it. One more, Parathon Banya Howder, Job 4:7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perish being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? And verse 8 goes on to say, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. By a blast of the Most High, they perish, right? And are consumed. I might be mixing two scriptures up, but y'all know what it is. So let's go ahead and Thawada brothers for all the numerous scriptures y'all putting up. But let's go ahead and get some more news here now. Let's go ahead and go into let's play this one from ABC. I think it's from ABC News. Let's see here what we got. Let's get into some of this weather. So this is from ABC News.
Near Yellowstone tonight.
It says extreme weather affects millions across U.S. And this is from today, 23 hours ago, it says.
Extreme
Check
weather
this out.
gripping much of this country. The storms in Milwaukee, for one. The 10-year-old boy swept away. The two adults trying to save him swept into a drainage tunnel as well. They have found the boy's body tonight. Also, the emergency inside Yellowstone Park, the home plunging into a river. They say.
Did you hear that? A boy got swept up. Let's go back.
Extreme weather gripping much of this country. The storms in Milwaukee, for one. The 10-year-old boy swept away. The two adults trying to save him swept into a drainage tunnel as well. They have found the boy's body tonight. Also, the emergency inside Yellowstone Park, the home plunging into a river. They say because of unprecedented flooding, because of the rain and snowmelt. And across this country tonight, more than 100 million Americans under alert for record-breaking heat from California to Texas, from Chicago to the East Coast. The stunning images tonight from Gardner, Montana. This home swept away by the rushing Yellowstone River. The view from the other side of the river tonight, the foundation you can see gone there. That house slips into the water and is just swept away. Bridges and roads gone across the area. Many families staying in the park. They were forced to shelter in place. The images of the treacherous route through a rainy Yellowstone National Park, rocks falling on a car. That heat also fueling severe storms pummeling Chicago and parts of the Midwest, a damaging supercell traveling more than 100 miles. And as I mentioned, in Milwaukee, the search after that 10-year-old boy and two adult men, they were all swept into that drainage ditch as heavy storms slammed the area overnight. And now tonight, the dangerous heat is spreading from Texas up to the Great Lakes and across to the east. In some areas, the heat index, the feel-like readings, from 100 to 115 degrees.
Look at that. 100-degree temperatures all across the United States. Look at that. All across the south, the mid, and the Midwest. And it's been hot as shit.
Adult men, they were all swept into that drainage ditch as heavy storms slammed the area overnight. And now tonight, the dangerous heat is spreading from Texas up to the Great Lakes and across to the east. In some areas, the heat index, the feel-like readings, from 100 to 115 degrees. Tonight, all of those entrances to Yellowstone National Park remain closed. Ginger Z times all of this out. But first, ABC's Will Carr on the scene near Yellowstone tonight.
Tonight, extreme weather sweeping across the nation. In Montana, fast-moving floodwaters causing this catastrophic damage in and around Yellowstone, whisking away a shed, and then this massive house crashing into the current a few hours later. River dragging it downstream.
My grandparents were saying it's the highest it's been in about 100 years. So it's pretty crazy to see, for sure.
The unprecedented flooding forcing the closure of all entrances to Yellowstone National Park after heavy rainfall and near record high temperatures rapidly melted snowpack over the weekend. Parts of Highway 89, the main road on the north side of the national park, washed away. Whoa. Rocks falling onto the road, nearly missing this car as it exited the park.
The
rain here has let up, but you still have towns submerged. This is a road, and you can see there are cars, businesses, and homes all still underwater.
The rising waters cutting off communities that border the Yellowstone River, leaving some without power and safe drinking water. Cindy Fogarty and her family visiting from Nashville, trapped in the town of Gardner.
It was just going really fast, and the water was just taking logs down the river, and it was just really fast.
The raging rapids ripping this bridge apart.
That was our way home.
Floodwaters rushing past this building, part of its walls now gone. The Montana National Guard evacuating at least 12 people. So far, no flood-related injuries or deaths reported. Heavy storms also hitting Milwaukee, where authorities say a 10-year-old boy and 2 men were swept away by high waters into a drainage ditch Monday night. Authorities locating the boy's body late today. They're still searching for the 2 men.
Swift water moving into an enclosed space in those tunnels provides us absolutely no opportunity to conduct some sort of rescue opportunity. We are conducting a recovery operation at this point.
And from the Great Lakes to the southeast, extreme heat expected to break records this week.
I am burning up. It's 110 out here, and I'm too old to be sitting out here.
In Odessa, Texas, where temperatures hit 100 degrees today, residents now under a boil water notice due to a major water main break. Demand for power in Texas surging to an all-time high earlier this week. Energy supplier ERCOT says so far they've had enough supply to meet demand. Back in Montana, the floods striking just as the summer tourist season picks up. Tonight, the road to Gardner reopened, and Fogarty's family, along with hundreds of tourists, the first to leave.
It's sad that the people, some of them, they lost their home, and it's just sad what all took place. But I think it's a small town, and they will come together and help each other.
I'm sure they will. We're thinking about that community and so many others dealing with severe weather across the country tonight. And Will, I know many families just now getting out of Yellowstone. We've seen the line of cars. Any idea yet when Yellowstone reopens?
David, not until all the water recedes and we can see the full extent of all the damage. We do know the north side of the park will be closed for quite some time. It comes as the governor has declared a statewide disaster after everything that's played out here over the past 48 hours. David.
Well, we've seen what's happened there at Yellowstone and, of course, in the Midwest as well. So, Will, thank you. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Ginger Zee tracking it all. Of course, Ginger, now this record heat gripping much of the nation.
Yes, David, the heat is remarkable, especially because of how early in the season we're seeing it. Chicago hit 100 degrees, and that is the first time we've been this hot in 10 years. It was 2012 last time we saw 100 this early in the season. So look at this. Chicago and that excessive heat warning. Cincinnati finds themselves there as well. Paducah, Kentucky. The heat advisories stretch all the way to the Florida Panhandle, South Georgia. The numbers look like this. By tomorrow afternoon, you're going to feel like 103 in Detroit. Pittsburgh, the same. Savannah, Georgia, 108. Atlanta not getting a break at 101. And when you're this hot and then some cool air is coming, you're going to have severe storms. Tornado threat is enhanced, especially for central Wisconsin, Madison, up to Oshkosh. I'd look out tomorrow. David?
We'll be watching first thing in the morning on GMA. Ginger, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George.
So y'all see that severe weather going across the United States. The temperatures, I knew it was hot. I had been saying it felt like it's hot too soon. Like it's gonna be hot because it's, the South or wherever you live at. It's the summertime. Well, it ain't even summer yet. It's still spring. The summer ain't even came yet. This is GMS Spiritual Art, but you see those rivers and different shit overflowing, different stuff going on. This is Karab Yasharala first. Isaiah 28:2. Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hell and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand. That's right. The Lord is in control of those mighty waters. GMS Spiritual Ark, Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. Yeah, and the brother said it's superhuman. It is superhuman. No doubt. Let's get here real quick. Prince of Yahweh, Psalms 47:2. For the Lord Most High is terrible. He is a great king over all the earth. That's right. The Lord is terrible. Your brother said another little boy drowned in the lake yesterday. And you keep, and it's a 5-year-old little boy missing in Massachusetts. Let me see if I can bring that up real quick. It's just a quick video. But you know, you kind of, as parents and you know, brothers and whatnot, we don't pray death on people. We pray to these people, you know, that they live and not be dead. But you know what? We can't say. We doing everything we can do by preaching repentance unto you. When you don't repent, ain't no telling how you gonna wind up getting out of here. Here's the video right here. Let's go to it. It says massive search underway for missing Massachusetts 3-year-old boy. Damn, I said 5. The boy 3. That's worse.
Searching by air and on the ground using canines, ATVs, as police go door to door looking for any sign of a missing 3-year-old boy.
I was outside and then I see like helicopters everywhere. So then I came outside and I see cops everywhere.
Authorities say the little boy named Harry was dropped off by his parents at a babysitter's home here on Freda Lane Tuesday morning around 7 o'clock. A neighbor saw the child in the backyard around 9:15. 15 minutes later, police say the babysitter called 911 after realizing he was gone.
It's just scary because you don't want him to be hurt or just even alone in the woods. It's just scary to think about.
Neighbors say police have searched their properties, asking residents to check around their homes as well.
I think they've been to my house like 3 times. We have a boat. So they went looking, they went to my shed, they went to see the boat. They went inside, like I said. Sad.
About 180 officers and firefighters have been combing the neighborhood where the little boy was last seen, including parts of the Lowell Drake at Tingsboro State Forest and the bodies of water nearby, as neighbors also trying to help.
I can't imagine a 3-year-old making it through those woods too far, so hopefully if he is out there, he's not far and they can find him.
But as the sun sets, daylight is lost, neighbors growing more concerned as more time passes.
I hope they find him safe and sound.
I got a daughter now, so I'm just like, I can only imagine what the parents are going through and just, I don't know, hopefully everything works out.
Thanks, sir.
Woo. Terrible. Terrible stuff. Terrible stuff. Little boy missing. 3 damn years old. You can already see it. It don't look good. Now, this brother said, looking up, 18-year-old, just graduated from high school, drowned at the beach here in San Diego. Rip current got him. Happened yesterday. And the same thing happened here. I don't know if anybody died, but we was at the beach. And on Sunday. And they had them damn red flags out. Whenever they got the red flags out, that's telling you dangerous rip currents. And guess what people was doing? Still going out there further than they were supposed to go. And the damn lifeguard kept blowing the whistle. And we was just looking at them. I mean, I got in the water, but I was up close. You know, I just got in up to my knees. I ain't go all the way out there. But that damn rip current, that shit's strong. And see? And Jake, stop always thinking that it's a conspiracy. This brother said organ harvesting. How about the Most High just done something? You be always thinking that Esau doing it. Hey, the Lord doing it too, man. Okay? The Most High is the one that's right. The brother said the Lord is judging. Stop always giving credit. Illuminati did it. Oh, they organized. Come on, man. Damn. Man up. You giving these people too much damn credit. The Lord is still ruling on the throne. Anyway, these people are proud. Even when they told that they're in danger, they still don't fucking listen. Yeah, we just did that story, brother. He said an escort was cut in pieces in Houston, Texas. We just did that story. Yeah, that dude, you got her. Most High, you know, put his spirit on her. Shadow of Thy Wings says more judgment. Multiple people shot at the Columbus, Ohio Community Cooling Center. 1 reported dead. And it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. Every day, worse and worse. But you know what? If you repent, then the Lord will look out for you. Let's get this. This is we're going to go to the NBC Nightly News now. Let's go ahead and get into it. Nightly News full broadcast June 14th, which is, I believe, last night. Let's check this out.
Tonight, the extreme weather from coast to coast. Floods, fires, violent storms, and record heat. Yellowstone Park shut down by unprecedented floods. Homes swept away. Bridges washed out. Dangerous heat. More than 100 million under alerts in 23 states. And storms on the move in the east, wind gusts up to 65 miles an hour. We're tracking it all. Also tonight, the growing fears of a recession. President Biden defending his handling of the economy as the Fed holds a critical meeting. Could it announce the biggest rate hike in nearly 30 years? The president set to visit Saudi Arabia and meet with the Crown Prince, despite his campaign vow to make the country a pariah after the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. The backlash tonight. The battle for eastern Ukraine, the critical city on the brink after the last remaining bridge was destroyed. Our exclusive one-on-one with Amber Heard after the jury sided with ex-husband Johnny Depp. Does she still stand by her testimony? The message she says the verdict sends to women and what she deeply regrets. After a year away from the court, Serena Williams announcing her comeback. And a picture a day for 25 years. A life in photos, inspiring America.
And obviously, we only going to watch the things that pertain to, prophecy, current events and whatnot. We don't give a damn about Serena Williams coming back to play tennis. Nobody gives a shit. Okay? And some of that other stuff, Amber Heard and Johnny Depp, we don't give a damn about that. So we're not going to watch those things.
This is NBC Nightly News with Lester Holt.
Good evening, everyone. Forecasters are using terms like heat dome and atmospheric rivers to describe what is driving extreme weather conditions across the country tonight. From dangerous rain and flooding to crippling heat, many will see triple-digit highs. In fact, over the course of the next 7 days, over 250 million Americans can expect temperatures 90 or hotter. And while drought-stricken parts of the West can't seem to buy a drop of rain, too much of it has fallen in Montana and Wyoming. It's been wiping out bridges, roads, and literally carrying houses away. Yellowstone Park closed tonight, a crushing start to the park's busy vacation season. From tornado sirens blaring in Chicago to fires in the West, this is already shaping up to be a summer to remember. Our team is in place to cover it all, starting tonight with Gotti Schwartz.
Tonight, weather extremes as destructive as they are contradictory. In the West, fires, historic flooding, and extreme drought all at the same time. The latest epicenter of devastation, Yellowstone National Park, an icon of Mother Nature, parts now underwater with...
Did you hear that? I'm going to go back and play that. Drought, fires, and extreme flooding at the same time. Damn. Hold up.
From tornado sirens blaring in Chicago to fires in the West, this is already shaping up to be a summer to remember. Our team is in place to cover it all, starting tonight with Gotti Schwartz.
Tonight, weather extremes as destructive as they are contradictory. In the West, fires, historic flooding, and extreme drought all at the same time. The latest epicenter for devastation, Yellowstone National Park, an icon of Mother Nature, parts now underwater with unprecedented flash flooding just as the busy summer tourist season begins. Onlookers watching helplessly as this two-story home was swallowed by the Yellowstone River. The level so high and the current so strong. This bridge was also swept away by raging waters. The floods stemming from a 1,000-mile-long atmospheric river that pounded Washington, Montana, and Wyoming, dumping massive amounts of rain. That, along with rapidly melting snowpack, making roads completely impassable.
In our basement, and there's about 2 feet covering the entire street in front of our house, just, rolling as fast as the river is.
CNBC's Valerie Castro is in Livingston, Montana.
As you can.
And before we go there, let's get this scripture from his brother, because it's fire. Yep, and I'll bring out another one too. This is our spiritual arc. GMS spiritual arc, Isaiah 30:30. And the Lord shall cause his glorious voice to be heard, and shall show the lightning down of his arm, with the indignation of his anger, and with the flame of a devouring fire, with scattering and tempest and hailstones. Woo woo. See it? Hey, brother. GMS spiritual arc, Ecclesiastes 39:28. There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. In the time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. What are some of the spirits? Fire and hail and famine and death. All these were created for vengeance. You see what the Lord is doing? See? This brother Mike McEwen A Jake mother in Detroit stabs her daughter in the heart. Hey, there's demons on these people. And it probably was over nothing, over some money or some petty, you want my damn shirt? I want to wear that shirt, and stab, different things happening. GMS Habakkuk, Jeremiah 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old, both prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that evil, the bad times, it's in there. See it? It's in there. This is Virgin Islands Straight Gate. Ecclesiasticus 25:7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. That's right. And we seeing the fall of our enemies. The Lord is bringing great plagues on this place. This is Karab Yasharala, Luke 21:11. And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. Absolutely. Let's go over here. I got one. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 8 and verse 50. And it says, for many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. And these people are proud. You see them by the way they flying down the highway, doing all kind of shit, zooming in and out of lanes, cutting you off in traffic, walking around, their noses stuck up because they got a few dollars. The pride in Babylon the Great will get your ass messed up. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. And that's what we're doing. We're seeking out the glory for the elect. We're the hopeful elect now, because we all hope we're of the elect. But Lord willing, that manifests until us actually being the elect. For unto you is paradise opened, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plenteousness is made ready, a city is builded, and rest is allowed, yeah, perfect goodness and wisdom. The root of evil is sealed up from you, weakness and the moth is hid from you, and corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. And that's coming. Sorrows are past, and in the end is showed the treasure of immortality. Listen, and therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. Why, Lord? For when they had taken liberty, they despised the Most High, thought scorn of his law, and forsook his ways. And these people are doing all these things, and they think they ain't going to be hurt. Moreover, they have trodden down his righteous, and said in their heart that there is no God, yea, and that knowing they must die. For as the things aforesaid shall receive you, so thirst and pain are prepared for them. For it was not his will that men should come to naught, but they which be created have defiled the name of him that made them, and were unthankful unto him which prepared life for them. And therefore is my judgment now at hand. And we know the judgment is close. The Lord is getting down in the earth. He's going to continue to do more. Let's watch more of this.
You can see some homes here in Livingston have already flooded. The local hospital, which was evacuated. And now the winds are yet another force to deal with as the cleanup process begins.
But the rain did little for fires threatening communities in California, a situation made even more dangerous by the mega drought stretching across the West. This as record-breaking temperatures span much of the country. More than 100 million are under heat alerts. In several cities, the heat index will top more than 100 degrees today. Meanwhile, other parts of the country are bracing for severe storms that yesterday tore through the Midwest.
The whole roof fell down.
At Chicago's O'Hare, travelers were told to seek shelter.
They moved us all away from the windows.
As near hurricane-force winds toppled trees and ripped apart homes. And those triple-digit temperatures expected to continue for much of the week for millions of Americans, promising an ominous start to what could be a summer of extremes. Lester?
All right, Gadi Schwartz, thanks. For more on the massive flooding in Montana, I'm joined by Park County Sheriff Brad Bickler. Sheriff, thanks for being with us. I want to talk at first about the evacuations. Have you gotten everyone out that needs to get out?
Yeah, Lester, thanks for having us.
we're working through. It's kind of an evolving scenario, but as the rescue attempts and stuff come up, we're continuing to evacuate people as needed. But for the moment right now, everybody that is currently in danger, we've got them to safe ground.
We've seen some pretty dramatic pictures coming from there today. Can you tell us what you have seen and what your challenge is tonight?
Yeah, I mean, the water levels that we're seeing and devastation that's coming from the floodwater is not anything that we've ever experienced here in Park County. We've got communities that have been cut off by water. So big efforts have been opening those roads back up to try to get resources to those folks that are cut off, as well as maybe getting folks out of those areas as to move them to higher ground, or we've got visitors in our communities like Gardner and trying to get those visitors out of those areas.
Yeah, I know you've got a lot on your plate. We thank you for making some time for us, Sheriff. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That brutal heat wave has been going on for days in Texas, with soaring energy demand causing new concern about the power grid.
So they talking up that power grid again. See, you just never know what's going to come about. So just let's backtrack a little bit. So they had floods, storms, right? Droughts, all types of different shit. See, floods, storms, droughts, wildfires. Man, the Lord getting down. He is getting down. Y'all know it. You know that very well. The Lord is getting down. Let's see here. I want to read that scripture from the elder, from Elder Hawad. GMS, North Carolina, Psalms 83. What happened to it? And 15. Hold on here, y'all. Come on. Psalms 83:15. So persecute them with thy tempest and make them afraid with thy storm. And that's what the Lord doing. Bringing all kind of plagues on the earth. Tearing these people's asses up. And putting fear in them at the same time. But you think they saying maybe the Lord is not happy with us? No, they ain't saying that. They ain't saying that. This is GMS Saints of the Most High. Jeremiah 9:24. But let him that glorieth glory in this, that he understandeth and knoweth me, that I am the Lord Yahweh, which exercise loving kindness, judgment, and righteousness in the earth. For in these things I delight, saith the Lord. And you see him doing it, getting down in the earth. This is our arrows of indignation. 2 Ezra 9, verse 1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past which I have told thee before, then shalt thou well understand. Understand what? We're going to read it. That it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. How's he going to visit the world? Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. Where is it? Well, it goes on to say, even so, have plain beginnings and effects and wonders. Paraphrasing it, wonders and effects and signs. You see, this is Gabar, yeah, I don't know. Gabari, AIN 144, 2 Ezra 15:27. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them, for the Most High shall not deliver you. Why? Because you have sinned against him. That's right. People want to keep on in their sinful ways. The Lord gonna tear your ass up one way or another. He's gonna get you. Now let's go back.
Which suffered a catastrophic failure last year. Here's your play. We thank you for making some time for us, Sheriff. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
That brutal heat wave has been going on for days in Texas, with soaring energy demand causing new concern about the power grid, which suffered a catastrophic failure last year. Here's Morgan Chesky.
Mid-June in Texas and dangerous heat already turning historic. Austin topping 100 degrees for 8 straight days. Dallas hitting 103 Saturday, tying a daily high from 1911. Sweltering temps forcing skyrocketing energy demand. Matthew Browning, one of thousands in North Texas who lost power over the weekend when his supplier admitted record-breaking heat stressed equipment.
And when we're eventually getting into those triple digits consistently, you know, it's concerning.
The loss of power from heat reminding many of brutal cold.
Every source of power that the state of Texas has been compromised.
The Texas freeze in February of 2021 left millions in the dark and cold when the state power grid couldn't keep up. ERCOT, the agency managing the state's now highly scrutinized grid, said it's now performing as needed. Adding Sunday's demand set a new all-time peak.
It's a very delicate balance to strike here.
Michelle Richmond, who represents a trade group of Texas power generators, says extreme weather, like heat waves starting earlier in the year, shortens vital maintenance windows, known as shoulder seasons.
We need to be able to take our maintenance outages in order to make sure we can run when Texans really need us.
It's a problem Texas witnessed in mid-May when ERCOT asked at least one plant to postpone planned maintenance to help meet demand. The very next day, the plant went offline due to equipment failure. And tonight, it's not power lines, but a busted water pipe creating a citywide outage in Odessa, Texas, where officials say they could go up to 48 hours without water right in the middle of triple-digit temps. Lester?
All right, Morgan, thank you. We want to turn now to the struggling economy. Tomorrow, the Federal Reserve is expected to announce the biggest interest rate hike in almost 30 years in an effort to bring inflation under control. Here's Tom Costello.
Amid skyrocketing inflation and with polls showing most Americans disapprove of his handling of the economy, President Biden today pointed to his own successes.
We've created 8.7 million new jobs in 16 months, an all-time record.
While again blaming the exploding prices on Vladimir Putin's war in Ukraine.
Just since he invaded Ukraine, it's gone up $1.74 a gallon. Because of nothing else but that.
But inflation was running hot well before Russia invaded, fueled in part by the supply chain crisis and massive pandemic stimulus spending. Today, more evidence that inflation is not cooling. The Producer Price Index, a gauge of wholesale prices, up nearly 11% in 1 year. Drivers in 21 states plus D.C. are now paying more than $5 a gallon for gas, a record.
Everyone's headed up to here, really.
In Utah, single mom Jamie Martinez is struggling to pay for food, gas, and rent jumping $400.
Rent is going to just continue increasing, and who knows when it's going to be a point
$400.
where I'm like, okay, I can't afford this anymore. Where am I supposed to live?
After already raising interest rates twice this year, the Federal Reserve is expected to hike rates tomorrow by the most since 1994, 3/4 of a percentage point. What's the risk that the Fed slams on the brake too hard and pushes the economy into recession?
There's a definite risk that the Fed will raise rates both too quickly and too far. We've never really come out of a pandemic before like this, so we don't know how much underlying momentum there is to the economy.
But higher rates mean Americans pay more for credit cards, new car loans, and mortgages. A new $400,000 mortgage on January 1st costs $1,745 a month. After 2 rate hikes this year, that payment is now $589 more, likely to go up with higher rates to come.
Tom, a lot of folks were rocked by the big stock market drop yesterday. What did it look like today?
Yeah, the Dow lost 151 points today. The S&P down a fraction. NASDAQ up just 19. Investors will be making their next decisions based on what the Fed decides on rates. But already the bond market is suggesting a greater risk for a recession, Lester.
Tom Costello, thank you. Amid those record-high gas prices, the White House now says President Biden will visit Saudi Arabia next month, despite his campaign promise to isolate the Saudi government. Peter Alexander is at the White House. Peter, this is a big turnabout for the president.
Yeah, Lester, that's exactly right. This is a dramatic reversal for President Biden, who's now breaking his campaign pledge to make Saudi Arabia a pariah over its human rights record. His press secretary, we have heard from them, but with gas prices soaring to all-time highs here in part to the U.S.'s ban on Russian oil exports, the president heads to the Middle East for the first time next month, hoping to repair relations. The White House denies the visit will primarily focus on getting the Saudis to pump more oil, but U.S. officials acknowledge oil is a key factor. After stops in Israel and the West Bank, President Biden will meet with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, the very person that U.S. intelligence believes ordered Jamal Khashoggi's murder. Lester?
Peter, thank you. In Ukraine,
So old Biden trying to spark up the trying to rekindle the relationship with Saudi Arabia because why? To stay in good standing, to get their hands on more oil. This bitch in trouble. Like the elder said, this bitch is circling the drain. CTD, circling the drain. Just a matter of time. And pretty soon, the shit that they control, they ain't even going to be in control of it anymore. The Most High ready to completely take, slap the controller out of Esau's hand altogether, like Elder Yashawamba say. See? The Most High about to just completely man. Beautiful times we living in. This is arrows of indignation. Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out the windows be darkened. So like here, hold up here. Be darkened, and the doors shall be shut in the streets, when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. Also, when they shall be afraid of that which is high, and fears shall be in the way, and the almond tree shall flourish, and the grasshopper shall be a burden, and desire shall fail, because man goeth to his long home, and the mourners go about in the streets. Right, man going to his long home. There's going to be a lot of death. There's going to be a lot of shutdowns. Man, they got everything right in place. The famine is there, right? The stock market is having problems with it. That shit could crash. The dollar could crash. And when that happens, what they going to do? They're going to give you that you know what. They're going to start lining you up. Not you brothers and sisters, but you know who. These other people, they're going to be in them streets trying to get what they need. They ain't even going to be thinking about the Lord said, don't take it. They're going to be too busy. I got to feed my son. I got to feed my daughter. Big mama hungry. It's hot. Their mind is going to be on the trouble. They ain't stored up faith for a treasure like we have through the Spirit. So many people are going to fold. They're going to line up and they're going to be taking that damn thing by the thousands. They're going to take it by the thousands. But you know what? Good for them. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it so the Lord can do something. Because everybody that take that Revelation 13:16, you're going to be destroyed. Let's go ahead and try to finish this off. It ain't but another one or two stories that we even interested in. And then I'll read a couple of scriptures and shut it down. Let's go back to the news here. Hold on, y'all. All right. See what we got left. They're going to talk about Russia and Ukraine a little bit here.
Last bridge linking a besieged eastern city with the rest of the country has been destroyed as Russian forces gain more ground and thousands of civilians struggle to get out. Molly Hunter is in Ukraine.
Evacuations here only happen at one speed. Quickly, this Ukrainian soldier says 3 people, no 4. Hurry up, he says, moving any slower and it's fatal. Russia is now gaining more and more ground in the east. Today, the last bridge out of Severodonetsk blown up. It's the only major city in the Luhansk province not yet under Russian control. Before the war, Russian-backed separatists controlled Crimea and parts of the Donbas region. Today, Russia now controls a vast area of eastern and southern Ukraine, claiming its prized land bridge between Crimea and the Russian border. Taking complete control of the Donbas has become Russian President Putin's goal after failing to capture Kyiv or the eastern city of Kharkiv. President Zelensky recently said Russia has seized 20% of the country, but not Severodonetsk, at least not tonight. Irina Halub evacuated 3 days ago when her brother was injured in shelling. He was screaming, she says. His leg was bleeding badly. Over the next 24 hours under intense shelling, she saved his life, getting him out in a wheelbarrow, then in the trunk of a car, making it to Ukrainian-controlled territory. And today, his leg was amputated.
Do you think you'll ever go home?
Right now, she says, we live day by day. We hope. I don't know how I'm going to keep on living.
And tonight, President Zelensky making another urgent plea. He says Ukraine cannot turn the tide in this war without more Western weapons and fast. Lester?
Molly Hunter tonight, thank you. In 60 seconds, what you haven't seen from Savannah Guthrie's exclusive interview with Amber Heard, why she says she tried to settle instead of going to trial, and what she regrets. Next. Back now with our exclusive one-on-one interview with Amber Heard.
We don't give a damn. Let's try to skim through it. Nope. No one cares. Yeah, made up lies about this man.
Tomorrow on Today and Friday on a special edition of Dateline at 8 p.m. Eastern. One of the greatest tennis players of all time is making a comeback. Serena Williams announcing she'll play at Wimbledon later this month. The 23-time Grand Slam champ hasn't competed in nearly a year since exiting the first round at Wimbledon with an injury. She received a wild card invitation to make her much anticipated return. Up next for us, profiting from the pandemic, how one small company got hundreds of millions of taxpayer dollars. Was the money mismanaged? Back now with new questions over COVID relief money and how it was distributed. Congressional investigators saying one small company pocketed hundreds of millions in taxpayer dollars. Here's Gabe Gutierrez.
This nondescript office building in Virginia housed a company the feds hired to help distribute billions of dollars in loans to help struggling small businesses during the pandemic. The firm, RER Solutions, got a no-bid $750 million contract. The company netted $340 million in windfall profits, despite assigning the work to just 6 of its employees, according to a U.S. House subcommittee report released today.
Why do you think the COVID spending at that time was so out of control?
Because we did not have effective enforcement of the oversight procedures that Congress put in place.
The Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, known as EIDL, has previously been under scrutiny, as the Justice Department's Inspector General told Lester.
The Small Business Administration, in sending that money out, largely relied on an honor system.
Prosecutors had already accused some borrowers of using the money to buy luxury homes, cryptocurrency, and Teslas. Now, investigators are looking closer at companies that distributed the money, amid revelations that as much as 20% of the funds may have been awarded to fraudsters.
Each dollar stolen was a dollar taken from a small restaurant owner who wanted nothing more than to keep her staff on the payroll.
RER Solutions told congressional investigators it subcontracted part of the work out to 2 other companies. The firm, which has not been charged with any crime or misconduct, did not respond to NBC News' repeated requests for comment.
The company was taking advantage of the law that existed.
This could just be the tip of the iceberg. There are more than 1,100 ongoing investigations into pandemic-related small business loans. Lester?
All right, Gabe Gutierrez, thank you. Up next for...
Yeah, a lot of people's going to jail over that shit, too. Then with them PI, some kind of loans, PIP loans, some shit like that. A lot of people going to jail behind that fraud, that pandemic fraud shit. But you know what? You deserve it. It's an opportunity to just get free money. You know, to do nothing, to go buy gold chains, gold teeth, trick out your car, buy some car. Niggas getting locked up for that shit.
Tonight, how a man's quest to take a picture a day developed into a lifelong passion.
And that's it pretty much on that. So we getting ready to shut it down. That's it for the news, because it's just some corny shit there in the end. And these devils are continuing to spawn more robots coming on here with this. We have more cheap sex than Tinder, you know. They're just sending these little different bots on here and whatnot. But it's all good, though. Not worried about you. Let's read a couple of scripts. So this is going to be Romans 13. Well, it was going to be Romans 13. We put it up right here. Damn. Okay. It's like that. Romans 13. And I'm surprised we actually got over 300 people on the live chat, which YouTube usually don't let that happen. Romans 13 verse 11. But you know why they're letting it happen? A lot of motherfuckers are scared. But you know what? Too bad. We told you what the Lord was going to do. Now your ass scared. Romans 13 and 11. And that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. Now, a lot of people in the background, just, you know, brothers and sisters watching quietly. But you know, you got some demons mixed in back there, some naysayers, some gainsayers. You know you mixed in back there watching people talking shit, but you ain't got nowhere else to go. You're gonna find that out more and more, that in the end, when you want your news and you want to know what the Lord doing, you're gonna have to come to the prophets. We know you be watching the lessons, And that knowing the time that now it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. That's right. It's close. Everything bad that happens for them is something good for us, and we get closer to the kingdom. The night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. And that's the only thing going to deliver you. Righteousness delivered from death. See? So you got to walk in the best way possible. All that little shit trying to go on your own and do your own thing and be your own woman, be your own man. You can't deliver yourself. You got to walk after the ways of the Lord. These people of the world about to go through some hell. The worst time that's ever been on the planet. If a brother could put it up, Matthew 24, what is that, 21 around about? Somewhere around there. Know a time like never before. It says, the night is far spent, the day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light, which is what? This truth. Let us walk honestly as in the day, and the light is the gospel, right? Let us walk honestly as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife and envying, but put ye on the Lord Yahushua Hamashiach, and make not provision for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. So you got it plainly. The Lord said, hey, put on the armor of light. 1 Thessalonians 5 and verse 1. But of the times and seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. You know where we at. You know where we at prophetically. Why are the other Israelites confused right now? Because you've been watching videos for entertainment. Great Millstone followers are not confused. We fully set and we see what's coming and we prepared for it. We prepared for it in the spirit. Other groups, whoa, brother, what's the right day to keep the Sabbath? You way behind. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. It's going to catch a lot of people off guard. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right? They're not going to escape. The times is coming. You have to have treasure stored up in heaven in order to make it through this. Which really at the end of the day, you got to be of the elect. Okay? That's all we're saying. Hold on here. I want to get the brother's scripture that he put up. Comment boy got to catch up. This is True Awakening, Spiritual Art, and Virgin Island Straight Gate. Matthew 24:21. For then shall be great tribulation, which is commonly referred to as Jacob's trouble, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. This is what's coming. A time of severe trouble like never before on the planet. Spiritual Art, Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Not all Jacob, the elect. This is Yediah, Baton Rouge, Daniel 12:1. At that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. Who are the children of thy people? The Israelites. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation. And you have to always keep sight of that. That's what's coming. A time like never before. Right? Slaughter, dead bodies in the streets. No police coming when they get called. No cops around. No ambulances coming to save nobody. Women going to be on their own. Men going to be on their own. Survival of the fittest going to set in. There's going to be all types of mass death, slaughter, killing, stenches of dead bodies in the streets. Shit going to be on fire. No food to be had. It's going to be a lot of things rolled up into one. This is Virgin Island Straight Gate, Jeremiah 30:6. Ask ye now and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. They're going to be white with fear. You're going to be ashy looking. You're going to be so damn scared. You're going to have your hands on your loins, and you're going to be weeping. It ain't going to be no crying, a little sniffling. That little fake shit they doing on the news. These what do they call them? Crisis actors. You know? No, not like that. You're going to be crying from your soul. Lamentations is what's going to be going out. On a mass scale, GMS Harakah, 2nd Ezra 16:39. Even so shall not the plagues be slack to come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrows shall come upon it on every side. No food to eat, bellies growling, stomach hurting, looking like hell, no tampons, no feminine hygiene products, no stuff to put in your head, no Instagram, no Snapchat, no Facebook. I can't wait for that. 1 Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. See, that time is coming. These proud ass people they in for a rude awakening. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Didn't Yahushua say he's going to come as a thief in the night? But this scripture says, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. You are all the children of the light, and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. That's what we do. We're watching everything. That's why our lessons are more focused on prophecy. And our lessons ain't focused on, what's this nigga name? Bandman Kivo getting a damn BBL. A man getting a BBL. We ain't thinking about you niggas. The Lord gonna kill you. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet the hope of salvation. For the Most High hath not appointed us to wrath, but to obtain salvation by our Lord Yahushua Hamashiach, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we should live together with him. Wherefore comfort yourselves together and edify one another, even as also ye do. And Lord willing, that's what we'll do. We'll edify one another. And we'll lift each other up in prayer. As the times are getting rough on the earth, it's going to only go worse and worse. And we ready for these times to come. We waiting on it. We're waiting for the Lord to bring the judgment on all these proud ass jakes, on these 2/3 ass nigga women, and all of that. And we pray that we make it out of here alive. So that's pretty much it, brothers. We're going to go ahead and shut it down right there, brothers and sisters. We'll see you again soon with another lesson, Lord willing. All right, this has been News, Bad Weather, and Bad Times. All praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. Shalom.